taxes. Tax spending can lead to more corruption, especially since there's limited effect to the anti-corruption stuff, so... He's spending alone for now. Mobilization in GDR. After a series of mass protests organized by unhappy people, the government rose to hire a new one and began negotiations that resulted in mass mobilization. Send an army. Soldiers successfully dispersed the crowd of protesters. Under pressure from units, all political cadres returned their posts. Because the protesters were arrested. So yeah, maintaining socialist rule, not communist. Like democratic socialist or social democrat. So reduce civil tech. Increase soldiers' living expenses and a big concern about their loyalty. Might hurt light industry, so painstakingly built up though. Reduce heavy industry slightly. No. This is all fine. Probably. Mirror. Manned Research Orbital Complex, which is created thanks to the protection of Romanov. For 1984 is far behind as a lot has changed. We put in orbit. Start Mirror with further modernization in Mirror 2. The base unit station is put in orbit. In the future, over 10 years, is planned to draw another 6 modules. Same time, work began Mirror 2, an improved main unit with the draw of new other units in the orbital dock. Should help with science points a lot. Also, very expensive. So I'll take advantage of that, however, because I saved up some money before the war crisis here. I don't want me to do tech. Boom. Tech to mass produce more military equipment so that despite reduced spending on weapons, my army is strong. We're so decayed that military industrial complex. Misuse. Wait, no, I'm just gonna cut to boom. Names of the journals, but with the budget deficit, it's justifiable, I think. End of a 5-year plan. Another 5-year plan is going to end, and we need to make demands for a new one. If you think demands are too low and the country can get more, double demands. If you think the demands are too high, you can lower them. In our case, it's going to be the same. Leave it the same. However, spend minister back price. This does allow this is finance. Now I can set a new 5-year plan thing if I'd open the finance ministry. I haven't had the political power thus far. Where is this far? This one is my carrier rockets. This is slow decay of my ICBM power. It's atomic tech, so it might even reduce the chance of meltdown, maybe. Keep the West at bay. I'm using a combination of diplomacy and deterrence. Try and prevent any kind of possibility of nuclear war. Soldiers are still not as loyal as I would like. Mirror. Rise in science points, intelligence, loyalty, and unanimity. Ability to send Mars expeditions. So I just gained a positive. Rise of Stalin's unanimity. Nah. Restoration of Stalin's legacy. Cool. Oh, I can send weapons here. Not yet. One here. It's getting close. Could open up the... It's been stupid. I want to open up the interior. If anything. See my poke points a little. I should deprive the officials. Where? No, I got corruption to its stable point, whereas if I'd done it later, I would have overshot it. It's probably better. Or reaching a moderate level. It's always low. I think it won't be in the way. High corruption, or even medium corruption, probably affects people's loyalty. Sakharov's letter. In 1980, one of the creators of the Soviet H-bomb, Professor Sakharov, was exiled in the town of Gorky for his support of the opposition protests against the Afghanistan war. Now, Sakharov sent a letter in which he promised to focus on scientific work and stop public protests if his wife is allowed to go to Moscow in order to prove her health. If he considered to be a rise of political freedom by the party in the world, however, it can encourage opposition. We'll make Shashkar from scientific opposition. So basically, he's allowed to return to a closed scientific community where he's kept under guard to prevent his interaction with politics. Hurts relations with the West, but I managed to avoid DEFCON going back up. It's probably make opposition stronger. The right wing doesn't love it. Reformers and such. Speaking of, oh well, since I checked this. So I gain political points. Still not getting enough. Let's increase soldiers' living expenses. Actually, the army is just not loyal enough. Loyal to the soldiers. Religious education. No, our path is more freedom of consciousness. According to the policy of ensuring freedom of conscience in our country, anti-religious laws are weakened, which allowed new waves of believers to come flooding in. In rural areas throughout the country, new places of worship are being opened and old ones being restored. The state guarantees it will not interfere with religious rights. The attitudes of believers towards us has improved somewhat. Should make it even easier to have high cultural contentment. Cut the education and cultural spending, but that would reduce education accessibility, which is already not as good as it should be in a socialist country. Just by doing that, I've changed my religion policy to free religion. The state should intervene in religious problems. That should improve the loyalty of especially the Islamic countries that were historically somewhat oppressed. Core is loyal. Warsaw Pact, not so much. Okay, so I need to trim envelopes to Republic leaders slightly further to increase state propaganda, which also benefit unanimity in my own core. Meanwhile, I'm losing control of much of the third world. For now. Deal with that after the Afghan war is over and after the oil crisis is over. It's best not to take on too many things at once. Okay, I'm going to trim oil production even further. Looks like it's lower and getting the same amount of money. It probably helps oil prices rebound quicker because nations can't maintain their reserves or aren't building up their reserves as much. Especially in the capitalist world, there's a lot of speculation if strategic reserves are large because countries are taking the opportunity to enlarge them while it's cheap. It's going to depress oil prices, prevent them from rebounding. Anti-alcohol campaign. Continue the price rising campaign. Soldier loyalty is improving. Good. Some money in the budget. Cultural intentment comes from UN. I don't need it. It's already maxed with freedom of religion. Increase environmental support a little further. I think I can finally increase the housing budget a little. Social expenses. The rest is going right to the reserves. Rebuilding them to in case of future events that cost money, and so I can get the events that require higher reserves. The colonel from Sokolov, the distinguished political figure, former first secretary of Sokolov Provincial Committee, greatly improved the local housing and supply situation. Also obtained the permission to build the local metro. Now is running the Politburo candidates with Lukashev's recommendation. Decision serves. Well, Lukachev is a liberal. This is Yeltsin. Kamina commission for a thorough check. For sure. The course of comprehensive inspections of the activities of Yeltsin on a post of first secretary of the Sverdlovsk Regional Commission found additions in the number of indicators. So he was forging plans in the supply area. However, the overall performance was positive, but admission the candidacy of Politburo was denied because he was forging plans. How he did worse stuff. It's surprising to find, he's an alcoholic and a security risk and possibly very likely inclusion with the United States CIA asset. Yeltsin was a traitor. Okay. Relations with the US are pretty frosty, despite taking a cooperation with the West and having a minister who's about improving relations. Well, they can suck it, basically. Made foreign policy cooperative so they won't get too pissed and might have more freedom of action. Because I actually want them to like me. Unearned income. The Council of Ministers is offering us to enact the decree about measures strengthening the fight with unearned income. Some party members acquitted it is very tough and doesn't correspond to the principles of socialistic freedom and equality. Unearned income is literally what socialism is about eliminating. Having people profit off the labor of others. Work should own the means of production. Fully enact the decree. The struggle against unearned income was reinforced yesterday, control over the execution of which was transferred to the party apparatus, while black marketeers and illegal immigrants came under mass raids. Petty traders and local artisans were also arrested and sent to labor camps.